What's happening, y'all? Yeah, man. There's a time to let's see, I don't want to start off the video off any kind of damn way. Yeah. Maybe I just try to find me something to read in this. See if I can find something interesting. The book of Ezra, second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 47. Woe be unto thee, thou wretched, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, talking about America, and has decked thy daughters in whoredom. That means you prostituting your children to be a whore. Woe be unto thee, thou wretched, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. This is talking about Israel. And let me read a little bit more just to get some more clarification on this here. Second Ezra 15 and 33. Let's see what this is saying. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege thee. When Israel went into whoredom, the nation of Assyrian, God said that these nations will come and take their land, take their possessions, take everything that they have, they own. Can you imagine somebody coming, stealing? And this is what these other nations did. The so-called white man is the number one nation of people that went around, they stole everybody's identity. Can you imagine somebody stealing your identity? Take a picture of you, change the image looks, change its looks, the image pictures, and make it seem like that's actually me. When you look at me, you see the original of me. When you look at the other picture, it doesn't look original like me. This is what those heathens did. They took and they sought to paint the likenesses of the images. You see what I'm saying? It's called stealing somebody else's identification. And people, the so-called white man is the number one main people that go around and steal not only people's identity, but they also steal people as well. They do. Let me get some proof on that. They go around and they steal everybody's identity. Exodus 21:16. The Bible says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, during the slave trade, they actually, hold on, they actually was kidnap people. And the Bible said, and sells him. The so-called white man was selling us and trading our people. Yep. They were selling our people. Selling and trading. The selling of the so-called Negroes during the slave trade. Trading in Negroes. Let's see if this will give me some evidence, because I just read out the Bible in Exodus 21:16. Traded in Negroes. Founded in 1915. The Carter George Wilson, the Association for Study of African American Life and History. Promoters, researchers preserve inter parts, and this disseminates information about Black life, history, and culture to the global community. Asia serves both the academic and the general population. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to take time to go over that part. Selling of the Negroes during the slave trade. Slave advertisement. Africans in America, Part 1 / Alexander. Let's see what this is called. We know that Alexander the Great, he was a ruling power too. From the time of the arrival of the ships to their departure, which is usually near 3 months secure, a day passing without some Negroes being purchased and carried on broad, sometimes in small and sometimes in large numbers. The whole number taken on board depends in a great measure on circumstances. In a barge, I once made our stock. Hold on. I lost where I was. In large number, the whole number taken on board depends in a great measure on circumstance in a barge. I once made our stock merchandise was exhausted in the purchasing about 380 Negroes, which was expected to have a procure 500. The number of English French ships then at Bonny had so far raised the price of Negroes as to occur as occasion this difference. I was once upon the coast of Angelo, Ango, also when there had not been a slave ship at the river Embars for 5 years previous to our arrival, although a place to which many users usually resorted every year. The failure of the trade for that period, as far as we could learn, hold on, as far as we could once, okay, angle, okay. The failure of the trade for the period, as far as we could learn, had no other efforts than to restore peace and confidence amongst the natives, which upon the arrival of ships is immediately destroyed by the inducement then forth held forth in the purchase of slaves. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Hold on, excuse me, sit that down. Deuteronomy 28. Got a long way. Oops, passed it up. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. The Bible says, and the Lord shall bring thee unto Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. When we was bought, our ancestors was bought over into America. What this is talking about is that we were sold. They sold us $100. $1,000, $2,000 Negroes. Nor do these unhappy beings, after they became the property of the Europeans, from whom as a more citizens people, more humanity might naturally be expected. Let me blow it up a bit. Hold on. Expected, found that their situation in the lands admitting their treatment is no less rigorous. The man Negroes on being brought abroad, the ship are immediately fastened together 2 and 2 by handcuffs on their wrists, by iron river and rubbering and on their legs. They are then sat down between the ducts and placed an apartment partition off for that purpose. The woman also are placed in a separated apartment between ducts, but without being ignored, and adjoining rooms on the same duct is appointed for the boys. Thus, they are all placed in different apartments. But at the same time, however, they are frequently stole so close as to admit of no other position than lying on their sides, nor will the height between ducts, unless in directly under the granted permanent, the indulgence. Wait a minute, hold on. This thing don't even want to stay up. Okay, frequently known to put them to death. The traders frequently beat these Negroes. The traders frequently beat these Negroes, which are objected to by the captives. See that? The traders frequently beat these Negroes, which are objected to by the captives. Captives, that means the abusers, the people who were slaves. Use them with great severity. It matters not whether they are refused on account of age, illness, deformity, or for any other reason. At New K, I don't know what this is, Calabar in particular, the traders have frequently been known to put them to death. In instant, have happened, help. Wait a minute, let me read that again. At New Calabar in particular, the traders have frequently been known to put them to death. In instant, have happened at that place. When Negroes have been objected to that, the traders have dropped their cannons under the steer of the vessel, instead beheaded them in the sight of the captains. Nor do these unhappy beings, after they became the property of the Europeans, to my so-called white man, nor do these unhappy beings, after they became the property of Europeans, from whom, as a more citizen people, more humanity might naturally be expected, find their situation in the last, admitting that treatment is no less rigorous. The men, Negroes, on being brought abroad, the ships are immediately fastened together, two and two, by handcuffs on their wrists, by iron on their legs. They are then set down between the ducts and places of apartment partition off for that purpose. The women also are placed in a separated apartment between ducts, but without being ignorant. An adjoining room on the same duct is appointed for the boys. Thus, they are placed in different apartments. They separate the men and the women. But at the same time, however, they are frequently shown stone so close as to admit of no other position than lying on their sides, nor will the height between ducts, unless in directly under the grant, granting, the granted permanent, the indulgence of erect posture, especially where there are platforms, which is generally in the case. These platforms are a kind of shift about 8 or 9 feet in breadth, extend from the side of the ship toward the center. They are placed nearly midway between the ducts at the distance of 2 or 3 feet from each duct. Upon those, the Negroes are stored in the same manner as they are on the duct underneath. The Negroes are stolen in the same manner as they are on the duct underneath. In each of the apartments are placed 3 or 4 large buttons on a conical form, nearly 2 feet in diameter as the bottom, and only 1 foot at the top, and depth of about 28 inches, to which, when necessary, the Negroes are stolen in the same manner as they are on the duct underneath. What this is saying is that the Negroes is stolen. There is deceptions at use in the disposure of sick slaves, and many of these must excite in every human mind, and in the living list the sensation of horror. I have been well informed that a Liverpool captured, boasting of his having cheated some Jews by the following strengthened a lot of slaves afflicted with the flicks about to be leading for sale. The flicks about to be landing for sale. He directed the ship Sirgons to stop the annals of each of them with oakum. I don't even know what the hell that is. But what I was reading, some of the stuff about Alexander Thornton Bridge account of slave trade, if y'all understood that. Yep. I don't know how this reading going to sound. I think I was kind of off on some of the words. Yeah. So let me. I need to see how I did with that reading. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off now. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off.